Cleanliness in the Bay Area, and beach cleanup, water cleanup, and wetland cleanup more specifically.
Okay, so the number one piece of trash on the beach is, I guess we can all guess, cigarettes. They take up 40% of all pieces of trash on the beach. Other pieces of trash can include plastic, styrofoam, and miscellaneous items such as like a refrigerator or a tire. And the cigarettes, they can, if you line them all up in a line, you can span the Golden Gate Bridge 9,300 times. And that's all the cigarettes littered in 1 year. That's approximately 3 billion cigarettes every year littered in the Bay Area. And well, all these cigarettes are killing all these animals because they have toxins in them you may not know about, but there's traces of arsenic, jet fuel, tar, even plastic. And all these animals are eating this stuff and they just die. For humans, the effects aren't bad, but for animals, they severely affect their immune system. And then we have, you may think trash just gets on a beach because someone just tosses some can, bag of chips. The truth is, though, all this trash comes from upstream in a river. That river flows through a city like Oakland or San Francisco, collects all the trash from that city in the storm drains, plastic bags, styrofoam, and that all flows into the ocean. And then there's illegal dumping, where someone doesn't want to have to pay the city to collect the trash for them, so they just dump all their trash inside a creek, and all that trash flows down into the ocean, adding on to all the trash in the city. And animals such as the wetland mouse right here, about the size of your thumb, they live in the wetlands. They're endangered right now because the wetland plants are getting destroyed from all this trash. And so when the tide rises up and these plants don't absorb all this tide water because all the plants are dead, this mouse has nowhere to go and it just drowns. And they're soon to be extinct. So we need to start doing something soon. And then a lot of seagulls, they'll eat anything basically that's really small and edible. And so they'll eat plastic, big lighters, plastic bottle caps, all this stuff. And they dissected a dead seagull and there's like a lighter inside and all this bad stuff. And this trash is killing all these animals in the Bay Area.
And one of the results of all the trash that goes into the water is the samples that actually exceed state standards. For example, on Ocean Beach on 7th Street, only 28% of the samples that were taken actually meet the standards for the Clean Water Act, which is a federal law that was passed that states that there has to be a certain amount of nitrogen, pesticides, and the maximum amount of trash that could be in the water. And so this shows that only 20% of the samples taken from the water actually meet those standards. That shows how bad the beach is. It shows that animals suffer from this beach. It shows that less people go to beaches because of the fact that the beaches are not very clean. And so in order to find out more about what's being done and what types of trash are actually on beaches, we went to Oakland, thanks to my dad. We drove all the way over there. And so we interviewed Allison Chan at Save SF Bay to learn about the types of trash that litter beaches and what's currently being done about that.
So one way to decrease the amount of trash on these beaches is to increase the amount of plastic bag and styrofoam bans. So, sorry for the late picture. So after meeting with Allison Chan of Save SF Bay, we learned that 75% of the cities in the Bay Area have already adopted these bans. That means that 25% haven't, and that 25% are smaller cities and towns, such as ones in Napa County and Pittsburgh, California, which I've never heard of before. And so, if you don't already know what these bans do, I'll tell you right now. So the plastic bag ban makes it so that when you're at a grocery store and you want to buy some dinner, for say, the grocery store clerk can't give you a plastic bag. But you can buy a paper bag for 10 cents. Now this is obviously encouraging you to bring your own reusable bags, which I do and my family does. And so now for the styrofoam ban. Let's say you're at a restaurant, the food's so good but you're full, you can't finish it, and you ask for takeout. Now these restaurants can't give you styrofoam containers because of the styrofoam ban. Now we know that this works because when San Jose adopted these bans, the amount of trash on their beaches decreased by 89%. And so, yeah, in 1 year. And so in places such as Chinatown, for example, they now give you thicker plastic bags that are considered reusable, except a lot of people don't reuse them. They just treat them as regular plastic bags and throw them into storm creeks, which causes the beaches to be dirtier. And so another problem is that fines. So there are fines in effect, but virtually none of them are enforced by the government. And so if the government can find a way to enforce these, whether it's with people or something else, the amount of trash will decrease on these beaches by a lot. And so there are fines in effect, and some people, they help some people, but some people still litter. They just ignore the fines, and that's just a picture of a hermit crab with a piece of trash stuck in it. And then so we understand that we can't have policemen looking over the whole beach. And while the government may not be able to fund some sort of litter police, for example, when they do, when they are able to, we think it would be a reasonable investment to make the Bay Area a cleaner place.
And okay, sorry. And so just to reiterate, what we need to do is get those 25% of the cities that have not adopted those bans to do so. It will decrease trash a lot. And the sooner that these cities and towns adopt these bans, the sooner our Bay Area will be a cleaner place.
Thank you.
Thank you.